with you lot, just like a teaching video. I'm going to use the questions from the PDF or from the Word document we put in the Google Classroom for you. So as you can see, this is the statistics area of our syllabus. Today my focus will be on the blue highlighted bit. So to zoom in, the questions I'm going to work with you on should cover these areas. So the basic statistics. My aim is to show you how to use the GDC effectively, because I believe some of you are still not very confident in terms of using your GDC. These are the formula that you will get from the formula booklet. Right. Just pick a few questions to do with you, and then let's see if it helps. So this is question 1. Now to do this question, you read the whole question. So it's asking you for the mean, whether they're true or false, the range, the mode, the standard deviation, and the interquartile range. The last 2 bits is actually the telltale sign that you really should rely on your GDC instead of do everything by hand. So you need to have not a calculator, but you need to have a spreadsheet to enter the number of inhabitants. So we have this. You enter into your column 1. You go to menu, statistics, stat test. Stat calculation. This is your one variable statistic. You only have one variable, the number of inhabitants. There is only one list, and it's in column A. The calculator will put it in your column B. So these are the results. So if I use my computer view, you should be able to see better. Hopefully, no, not really. Right, here, this is the mean. Right, as you can see, the mean, which is this, is equal to the range. You don't know the range, but the range is max. Take away the mean. So if you go down, the max is 7. The minimum is 3. So the range is 4. The mode is the most popular number, which you can see 4 happened 3 times. So the mode is 4. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. The standard deviation 1.4. Standard deviation is this one, sigma x. So sigma x is equal to 1.286. Now, here is when you determine whether they're true or false. The mean is 5, so false. The range is 4. True. The mode is 6, definitely a no. Now, the standard deviation, when you round to 2 significant figure, it is 1.3 to 2 significant figure. So the answer here is false. It's not 1.4. B. Interquartile range. So the IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1. And from here, you can also already see your Q3 is 6 and your Q1 is 4. So your IQR is 2. One thing to pay attention to is when you're answering in the exam, you have an answer box, right? So make sure you have labeling the parts A, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and B. Also, you will have an answer box. Make sure you transfer carefully your answer to there. Now, don't forget, this one we use one variable stats to calculate because we only really have this variable to deal with, one variable stats. Now I'm going to do this question, and going back to the GDC, every time you start with a new document, especially when it comes to modeling and stats, so you don't need to save it. Now, I need a new spreadsheet. This time, I need to have it labeled clearly. I need to have, well, let's read the question. What do we need? We need the mean temperature as well as the standard deviation of the temperature. So we only really need one column, and then you enter the rest. Right, everything is being entered, the temperature, and we are going to repeat statistics, stats calculation. Now we only have temperature to deal with, so we are going to do one variable stats. So it says write down A, write down definitely all 1 mark question. As you can see, 1 mark, 1 mark. So if I have to write down the mean, then it will be equal to 19.1538. So 19.2, 3 significant figure. And it should be in degrees as well. Part 2, the standard deviation, sigma x. You go there, scroll down, this one. 1.44787, so it's 1.45 to 3 significant figure.
Mommy.
Right, if I need to take the opportunity to do the make use of the bottles sold, then I need to put it into the second column. In that case, if I do that, so I need to clear both this column, delete. Can I? Well, maybe I should just start a new one. So if I'm doing 2 variable stats, I need to have the temperature here and the number of bottles sold. And right back to here, and then if we have 2, temperature and number of bottles sold, you need to do statistic calculation, go to 2 variable stats instead, and get all the details. Make sure you scroll down for all the results. Okay. To keep going, I am going to do a cumulative frequency plot for you, just to remind you of some of the details that you need to know. So 240 cars were tested to see how far they traveled on 10 liters of fuel. The graphs show the cumulative frequency distribution of the result. Find the median. Now the median must be, you need to first notice that this is the max, which is 240. So the median is right in the middle of it. So here. But you read across to the curve and down to make your answer more meaningful, because it is about the distance. So this is 105, this is 119 kilometers. B. Calculate the interquartile range of the distance traveled by the car. So we've mentioned before the IQR has to be Q3 taking away Q1. So you need to find Q3 first, which in this case, this one 60, go across and down. This is your value of Q1, which is 114. Go to here, which is 180. Do the same. One hundred and 123, Q3, 123. So you have to do 123 to go 104, which gives us 9. That means here, this is your interquartile range. This is your IQR. There is a gap of 9. Now find the number of cars that traveled more than 130 kilometers. 130 kilometers, you need to start from here. So instead of going across and down this time, you need to go up. So keep going up, and across there. Now they are asking for more than, so we are interested in this. So there will be 20, the 20 cars. Box plot. 2 groups of 40 students were asked how many books they have read in the last 2 months. The results for the first group are shown in the following table. The quartiles of these results are 3 and 5. So the quartiles, Q3 must be 5, Q1 must be 3. Write down the value of the median of these results. No. You basically have, if your Q3 is a 5 and Q1 is a 3, I guess your Q2 has only one option, which is 4, right in the middle of the 2. So that you don't need to do any calculations. B. Draw a box and whiskers diagram for these results on the following grid. So you have your Q1, Q2, Q3. Now you need your minimum, which is a 2, and your maximum is 8. Right, so make sure you use ruler. It's harder for me on my screen, so I'm just going to do it by freehand. So the minimum is at 2, the maximum is at 8, the Q1 is at 3, so I'm just going to do half of it. 4,
5. This would be the plot. Now, do make sure that you do not have a line punching through. You will be considered incorrect. So make sure you don't have that. The whiskers do not punch through. That would be it. The minimum and maximum point has to be at the right place. The Q1, Q2, Q3 has to be at the right place. You need to look into the mark scheme to find out the detail of the allocation of marks. Last, the results for the second group of 40 students are shown in the box. Estimate the number of students in the second group who have read at least 6 books. Now, at least 6 books mean these. At least 6. Now, how do we determine how many? Well, you need to remember the fact that they are quartiles. Oops. They are separated into quartiles. And so this is your first, second, third, and fourth. But they all represent 25% of your total number of people involved. So here, this is just a quarter, 25% of 40, which is a quarter of 40, so 10. So estimate the number of students in the second group who have read at least 6 books. The answer is